Well, would you believe it? Season 7 of eRacing GB coming your way, courtesy Alex Young and Des Corkill, just to guide you through 4 classes of categories today. It's a short season, Alex, just 3 rounds for us.
Yep.
But that's just to make sure that we get the numbers up and that we make sure that there's a consistency about eRGP.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll go to a 3-way in a second. We'll see what track we're at. But yes, it's very important to keep going. You know, we got different cars this time. You know, we're starting with the CR1 cars in Copper class, and then we're going to do a couple of WTCR rounds. The WTCR cars, which we've never done for gold and silver, and that'll be quite interesting to see the pros in these front-wheel drive touring cars later on.
Looking forward to that. As usual, just to remind you about the format, we have a qualification period of 5 minutes. That gets you onto the grids, and then we have 2 races. We have a sprint 15 minutes, followed by a reverse grid sprint 15 minutes. So that's the format. 3 rounds, all points will count towards your season's tally at the end. And let's just have a look at where we are. We're at Aragon Circuit today, which is interesting in that.
That's right. There's that graphic of that track. It is very long. That long straight does allow for slipstreaming and some overtaking as well. Going to make it quite fun to do, actually. But of course, you've got the tight, twisty bit. Sector 1, Sector 2, that's where it all gets quite interesting. Here we are watching Sharik Zukhanan here in Sector 2. And actually goes around a bit of a mountain there, bit of a hill, bit of gradient changes here at this track.
I've always enjoyed the mountainous scenery. The cameramen don't really have much fun around that. We're on race room once again. 4 categories. What have we got? 22 starters today. That's quite nice for you. That shows that there is some real stickability to what you produced.
Absolutely, and a lot of new drivers here that are brand new to the championship that actually we've been coaching online and in our centres. A couple Scottish drivers under the Malaysian flag there, and some of the old regulars also there who have not quite won in Copper before. McGregor's. I think both McGregors are there. Adam Kontralotchis with a long name, and of course Danish Shiram up there at the very top. He finished 2nd in Copper last season. Let's see if he can go one better this time.
Yeah, the champion was promoted. Yaming Chu, he was promoted up to the next level. So you have copper, bronze, silver and gold. The gold guys truly are the star boys, but the likes of Chris Chu, he poodles along quite nicely at these lower levels, makes himself semi-competitive on regular occasions. Short season, you never know, a couple of good weeks and you could be a champion.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to see Chris Chu there. He's in this red and black CR1 car, but definitely much stalwart, shall we say, of the championship. He's been here quite a while.
The CR1 cars, what was your rationale in selecting this one for the Copper class?
I like the CR1 car just because it gives very good realism to actual real life racing. You know, this is a car that has and behaves just like a real life car. You know, let's not forget we are in the sim world, but it does behave like a proper race car. You can't be too careful with how you go around. We have raced other cars like the Formula 4 car here before in the past, and I didn't really like the Formula 4 car because it was a bit too unrealistic. You know, you could really chuck it in and the car would just basically never ever spin. So yeah, it's nice to get into a car that you have to, watch how you attack with it, otherwise it will spit you out.
Some of the new people looming in, the likes of Jet Lee Russell, a privateer. 22 starters. We've even got a Sean O'Carroll down there as well. Olivier Denis, who is wearing the Singaporean flag, but sounds very French, very exotic. But the fastest man out on the circuit at the moment, before we come into qualification, fastest man on the circuit is Danish Ahram, who was runner-up last year. He picked himself up a couple of podium positions, in fact 2 podium positions and a win last year. And I suppose he'd be one of the guys you'd really be looking at to maybe go one better than last year and maybe get the title.
Yeah, he is, and he's got a bit of an advantage there actually. He's looking quite strong. Should really be in bronze class, to be honest. I'm surprised he's still in copper. But Ronaldo Julie there here we are watching. Indonesia as well, another good driver. Good to see him back in copper. But you know, I would have thought actually. Remember a couple of seasons ago, he was actually looking quite good. I thought he was actually going to kick on. He got brought to bronze class. I don't think he's been doing as much driving as he usually does.
Again, last season he had a couple of high-ish finishes, a P6 in Motegi in round 4 and a P4 it was in the opening round of the season at this same Aragon circuit. So, listen, we're just about 10 seconds or so away from the qualification period, and that will be 5 minutes. That'll give us an indication of how this short season's going to go.
Yeah, well, but at the moment, you know, Danish looking very good at the top, didn't he? Chris Chu there though in second. He'll be quite pleased with that as well. We haven't seen him up there for a while, so.
And he's a mature chap, which I quite like.
Yes, mature.
Enough of these kids dominating esports. Let's just see how some of the older guys can get on with things.
Okay, qualifying should be starting very soon. Up there we go into qualifying. Let's try and follow someone. Let's look at Hayden Miller actually. He's a new driver actually. Might as well follow him as he goes around. Hayden Miller is brand new to racing. We've actually been coaching him on the sim, so quite a talented young driver. He and his dad are doing this championship so they're racing for the very first time. I think his dad's done some real life racing out of the UK, but Hayden's not. He's a complete rookie, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Anyway, down the start, finish straight down to turn 1. Turn 1 is a 90-degree left. Does tighten up a bit on you. You can run wider, so you have to watch track limits. Hayden just gets it just about right. Then to turns 2 and then turns 3. Turn 3 is a bit of a lift in the CR1 car, not flat at all. Before coming to turns 4 and 5. Now turn 5 tightens up quite a lot. Aragon's quite unique compared to other tracks and how a lot of these corners tighten up quite a bit, so you have to be patient not to jump on the throttle too early, otherwise you will run wide and fall foul of the track limits. Through turn 6 up to turn 7 now, this right-hander, second gear I believe in CR1 cars, and good blast out of that. Stay on the curbs if you can. He comes off the curbs for now. Then turn 9. Downhill, very easy to lock up, very tight here for 9 and 10. This left-hander, got to get the front in there because it does understeer through there, and then out for this long blast through turns 11 and 12, which again, small lift in the Aquila CR1 car before coming for turn 13. Over the brow, turn 13 again, very hard to spot your braking. Can't really use the curb on the outside because it will push you wide. Nicely done by Hayden, uses just the right amount of curb. Turn 14 should be flat if you get it just right. Ooh, yes, just flat, just stays in track limits. Before turns 15 and 16. 16, of course, a crucial corner because it leads onto the very long back straight. So this very long back straight, obviously, you need a good exit out of here to get you carry the speed all the way down the back straight.
Fastest through sector 1 and sector 2. Not bad.
Wow, impressive for the rookie. Fastest of all. Then you got to spot your landing, spot the braking for this. I can't remember what corner this is now, but this very tight hairpin, first gear. Very easy to just lose all your time at the very end of the lap by messing that corner up. Then easy flat through these last couple of corners, and there you go, Des. Back in the start-finish straight.
16 and 17, the corners to finish up over the hill. Oh, he's got himself in P4 at the moment. Tell you who's gone quickest. Oh, actually, P1 there is Hayden Miller. Shafiq has just gone a little bit quicker than him. 2:05.0.
Whoa, Julie, look at that. Ronaldo Julie's gone quickest. Nice job by the Indonesian. We just talked about how he was looking good a few global editions ago and then kind of went off the boil. Nice to see him up in P1. Gosh, I can't remember the last time he was pole or P1.
Who else is there? Danish is the one I really want to keep an eye on. He's currently in P4 at the moment. Now, because they're taking 2 minutes, you won't have a lot of time to actually go and get a second a second lap out there, will you? So Danish in P4 at the moment. Adam Kondrolochis has pushed together a P5. Chris Chu in P6. You pick up points, of course, for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's always very, very useful to get your season off to a good start. But it's Ronaldo Julie who's on his second lap out there at the moment. But he's 1/10 down, so he's not going to improve on that.
No.
Who is looking quick out there? Maybe Shafiq might be out there. Let's see what Shafiq's posting.
Shafiq Danish. There are a couple of Danish drivers here with in their name. He's just starting his lap. Oh, he's not going to get a chance to finish it. So, Yeah, let's see what Danish Aram's doing again. Let's see if he's managed to go any quicker. Oh, look at that. Oh, he's green though.
3/10 down, so he might be. So he's down on his time.
Oh, he's up on his time.
Sorry, he's up on his time, but down overall.
Yeah, 3/10 down on Julie's time. Well, that's a bit of a surprise, isn't he? Because we saw how quick he was in practice. So for him to not be up there, oh, look who's gone quickest. Sukanen. He actually won a race or two, actually. He didn't even bother restarting race a second lap. He just went and did 2 laps back to back, which I think was the correct strategy to do. Because let's not forget, the copper drivers are quite inexperienced. And to restart a lap again, you kind of lose the flow a bit. But Sukainen, I think, just did not bother restarting that second lap. And he just did 2 laps back to back. Had enough in the tires to do it. So he's on pole by 6/10. Wow.
It's quite quick. How about the McGregors? It's a son, father and son, isn't it, the McGregor boys?
Yes,
brothers.
right.
Yeah, father and son.
Jack and John. Jack is the son.
So Jack is P12. He hasn't done hasn't got into the points there. John is half a second down on his fastest lap time. Where is he on the circuit? Yeah, he's got a chance of putting a time in here. But he's down in P12, but it's Sharik who's leading. Ronaldo Julie on P2 on the grid. And Imran Zuhail has got himself on P3 for FSA Racing. Danish has just posted a P2.
Yeah, Danish just turned a P2.
And the final results are in. So Sharik is in P1 with a 2:04.465, literally over half a second quicker than everybody else. Ronaldo Julie P2, Danish in P3, Imran Zuhaili from Malaysia in P4, and Shafiq Danish from Singapore in P5. Hayden Miller just out of the points, as is Adam Kondrolochis and Chris Chu. So the experienced guys were just pushed down just a little bit, but 22 competing, in fact 23 competing. Dave Roberts and Sean O'Carroll on debut. Sean unable to actually put in a decent time at 2:12.377. But Imran Zuhaili, the man on pole position. Oh, Hayden Miller's just gone quicker. That changed.
Wow.
So Imran Zuhaili was the man who took pole position, and Danish is out of the way. Okay.
All right. Wow, that's interesting. So a lot of last-minute surprises as drivers just about get their laps in just at the end. So, wow, yeah. We're happy to get things going here right now. But, wow, so a lot of surprises there. A lot of new names up there, Des, as well in the copper class. So going to be a bit hard to see how this one's going to go.
It certainly is. New names is exactly what you're after. 23 have qualified. Mm-hmm. We are just waiting the countdown. We've got about 20 seconds to go. Danish, in the end, got himself in, well, he was a P2 at one stage, but I think he finished up in P4 because of that Zuhaili fast lap coming in right at the death. Okay.
All right.
Round 1 of a short season. We are all just about set to go. Copper class. It is Sharik on pole position. Ronaldo, Danish in P3. Imran Zuhaili in P4. So those changes didn't come through, but we are underway. Red light is out. Sharik has got off to a solid start. So has Ronaldo Julie. In fact, it's Julie who's edged his way into the lead. And the Indonesian then is pushed very wide. Just able to hold on. Can he keep it going? The answer is yes. Ronaldo Julie is the leader. But Sharik is trying to force him on the inside. Sharik and Ronaldo really, very, very physical together. And Danish Aram is pushed out onto the sidelines as well. Then Danish comes through. Contact galore in these opening three corners, Alex Young.
Wow, but I'm surprised. I expected a lot more carnage through those first few corners, but everyone's kind of got through, although there's plenty of argy-bargy going on.
Well, that's Ronaldo Julie. He's just forced his way through past Danish. Sharik is there. Shafiq Danish is also in P4. A little bit further down, a decent start by Imran Zuhaili, who I inadvertently said had got P1. That was after the qualification period. But it's Julie who leads. Now then, what's the damage on these cars, Alex? Are you allowing a lot of contact on the corners, as we just saw?
Is, well, I'm surprised. All the copper class have got through these first few laps. They look like pros, really. Oh, as kind of runs wide there. But, yeah, very good quality penalty driving by the beginner class so far. Yes, but good to answer your question. Oh, down the inside. Danish sneaks down the inside, but Julie rebuffs him firmly. But they're going to be side by side all the way down the back straight. I can't even get a chance to talk about damage at the moment. But yes, damage is off. It is limited. So we tend to allow that in Copper class because we do like these drivers to try and finish their races.
Splendid answer, splendid answer. Ronaldo Julie is leading the way, but behind him Danish and Shafiq are closing. Once again, Danish tries to get on the inside, and he's got on the inside of Ronaldo Julie, and Julie tries the switch back as they come towards the end of the lap, and Danish Aman, the runner-up last year, is actually the man who is in the lead. I saw a penalty being called there against Shafiq. Or Sharik Zulkarnain, who's in P5, but at the end of lap number 1, it is Danish from Ronaldo, from Shafiq, from Hayden Miller, and Sharik with Imran Zuhaili back down in P6. But there is a lot of contact amongst these front three. This is a three-way boxing match.
It is, and it's going to keep going and going. There we go. Julie again trying on the inside. Julie, I would say, is more experienced of these three. But yes, no, Danish Aram there, just back in front at that moment. But it's not over, is it? Julie's tracking him. Ronaldo Julie's tracking him very, very closely indeed.
Okay, so it is still Danish, who is now just beginning to settle down just a little bit. The contact in the opening lap, it really was bump and grind. Hayden Miller's made a good start down in P4. He's in the blue and red, Hayden Miller. He's got himself there in P4. Sharik is right on his tail, tries to come down the inside. In fact, Sharik has retaken P4. No, he hasn't, because Hayden Miller's just able to hold him off. So that battle for P4, 5 and 6 is good. Olivier Dennis is leading the third group of racers in the Element Motorsport Green, ahead of Nasrul Ashraf and Chris Chu, who's very close into that little group as well. So 3 distinct groups, but it's the leading 3 who we're interested in, with Danish leading Shafiq, and Ronaldo Julie has been forced back to P3, Alex.
Yes, so just shuffled back there, and these 3 fighting, you know, it's coming closer. Look at that, the other 3 are really getting a lot closer to the top 3. So it's going to be a 6-way fight for the lead very soon, I feel. As they come down the back straight, you know, you can see that they are going to pick up a bit of slipstream. And Julie, I'm surprised Julie's not dipping into the slipstream of the 2 cars in front. I would be trying to use that. Look at that, 3 wide, the cars behind him. You got, I think that's a Miller on the inside, and Zukainen and Zuhaili on the outside. Oh, he goes through. Oh, contact! I think that was Zukainen that spun.
It is indeed. Hayden Miller's the man who's been able to hold on for P4. Imran Zuhaili in P5, and Sharik, he has lost quite a bit of ground there, but not too much ground at the head of Olivier Dennis. So as I say, there's 2 distinct groups. Imran Zuhaili's got a slow down penalty track limits abuse. That one you can see, but Danish suddenly, Alex, is pulled quite a long way away. He just posted a 2:06.8, and he's got himself, what, a full second and a quarter lead?
Wow, yeah, no, could this be the moment? Could this be the moment where he wins the race? Because this could be the crucial break. And look, the cars behind him are going to start scrapping. Shafiq Danish, though. Danish Aram, Shafiq Danish. It's getting so complicated. Well, guys like that name, or parents of drivers like that name. So Shafiq Danish, though, he's not giving up, though, is he? Looks like he's closing down that gap to the lead.
Hayden Miller has overtaken Ronaldo Julie, who's gone backwards, having been leading for most of the first lap. Julie is going backwards, and Hayden Miller, this a seriously good drive from Hayden.
Oh, he's gone completely wide there. Big mistake there by the Scottish driver. Wow, that's cost him a couple of positions. So, but let's not forget, he's very impressive. This is his first proper race. Now, running wide again. That's Zuhaili running wide again.
So Imran Zuhaili was there. Ronaldo Julie's in P3. So Julie is leading that little group, ahead of Sharik, Imran, and Hayden Miller. But ahead of them, Danish and Shafiq, Danish Aman and Shafiq Danish, are both pulling away. So the battle for P3 is where the real battle is going on, and it's Sharik, who was pushed off the line and made a mistake at the end of lap 1. He's got himself back in to challenge Julie. This is the battle for P3.
It is. Yeah, it looks like the battle for the lead is going to be between the 2 Danish brothers. I don't even know they're brothers, but I'm going to say they are. And, whoa, Julie, though, runs wide, gets barge out of the way by Sukainen, but still the Indonesian holds on to the lead for now.
That corner 16, that hairpin right at the very end, it's very, very difficult to negotiate. Sharik then gets a good drive out of the corner. He is now in P2. Up at the front, I can tell you, Shafiq is beginning to challenge Danish Aram, sorry. So they're in the same liveries, which is just a little bit confusing, but it's Danish who's leading the way. Shafiq is in P2. These are the two Singaporean drivers, and they have got themselves almost a 3-second lead from the battle going on for P3 between Sharik and Ronaldo Julian. Sharik looks like he's pulling away from that one, so the Malaysian is leading that battle for P3 ahead of Julie, Hayden Miller and Imran Zohaili.
Yeah, Sukainen there. He's free from the clutches of Ronaldo Julie though, so maybe with some clear track and not having to defend, he can also close down that gap to the front too. Certainly is possible. And there is enough time left in the race, just halfway through this race one.
Hayden Miller beginning to make a move on Ronaldo Julie as well. So Julie was in P1, was looking good in practice, but in the race itself, he's finding it a little bit difficult. He was P2 on the grid at the end of qualification, but now he's down to P4. Just keep on with this battle. So Julie has actually lost that place now to Hayden Miller, and this is a great debut for Hayden Miller. Holding on very nicely in P4. Julie then spins. Oh, and Julie has taken some collateral damage as well, and that will allow Olivier Dennis to go through. It looked like he caught the bollard on the side of that side of the road, or he just had his back spun around from him, and suddenly Ronaldo Julie was once upon a time in P1. Now he's in danger of not even making the points. He's down in P12 is Ronaldo Julie. 5-speed racing, and that means that he is chasing Juan Coco. And up at the front, I can tell you that Shafiq has taken the lead midway through race one of the season. Shafiq Danish from Singapore leads Danish Aram from Sharik Zulkarnain. Miller in P4. Olivier Dennis is the man leading P5 ahead of Azmi Arifin, Nasrul Ashraf, and Jack McGregor's got himself up into the top 10.
Oh, good to see Jack McGregor up in the top 10. He's also a Marco race winner in Copper class before. 8 for now at the moment. So yeah, lots of father-son and brother combinations out here.
And they're right behind each other. It's with the Jack's dad, isn't he? And John is the son, is that right?
John is the dad, Jack is the son.
So son Jack in the yellow is leading dad John by half a second. That's the battle for P9. Ahead of them, Ashraf is moving in on Azmi Arifin, who's a familiar name for us. Up at the front, I can tell you that Hayden Miller is getting a little bit closer to the Sharik Zulkarnain, but he's pulling away from Olivier Dennis. So the front four, I think we know who the front four will be when this first race ends in 5 minutes' time. But who's going to take the victory? At the moment, it's Shafiq leading.
Yeah. Okay, so Shafiq then looks like we talked about a few crucial moments in the race, and this one looks like another crucial moment because Shafiq there's got a big lead over Danish Aram. I wonder if they're brothers. We're going to have to try and find out about this later. Look, Danish Aram's now coming under big pressure from Sukainen.
Yeah, Sharik Zulkarnain, who raced last season, picked himself up a win in round 3 and ended the season as a winner in Mid-Ohio in round 5, both on race 2 on the reverse grid race as well. Sharik has got himself into P2. So Danish Aram is going backwards as Juan Coco gets himself a slowdown penalty. So Sharik has done really well. He's posted a very good lap there, a 2:04.9. Tell you what, that was as quick as his qualification lap. So that is a really, really quick lap from Sharik. He's only a second down also upon the race leader, Shafiq Danish. So maybe in these last 5 minutes there might be a threat coming in onto Shafiq. Danish Aram is the man in P3. Hayden Miller still in P4. He's got a nice gap ahead of Olivier Dennis. In fact, it's an ever-increasing gap on Olivier Dennis in P5. So our focus is going to be on the race leaders, and it is Shafiq who has got a 1 second lead over Sharik, but Sharik is closing in, Alex Young.
Yeah, he is indeed. Wow, where's this pace coming from? Zukaina. He's just suddenly, he's qualified in the top 5, but as this race has developed, he's found something that others are not able to find. Maybe he's a bit better with tire wear. Tire wear is set to ×2 today. It's not too much, but it's not exactly a tiny amount either. And he's really closing in on the leader now.
Well, Danish is closing in on him as well.
Not Danish made a mistake, he touched the curb.
He's done that a couple of times.
Yeah, that curb, you just can't touch that curb on the outside of that turn. It sucks you out and you go wide. But Zukaina, the Malaysian, the meat in the Singapore sandwich in the white car, he's got plenty of time left. There's going to be a couple of laps after this.
There are three minutes left, and
2 more laps after this, I would say.
Yeah.
And look at that, Danish is trying to break the toe. He is weaving down the straight. You are allowed to do that if there is a big enough gap between you and the car behind. But Zukaina's right there, and he's going to fancy his chances. Oh, Danish runs wide. They both run wide. They both break too late there.
That's a really deceptive corner, that one at the bottom of the hill. You've got to get it right.
It is super hard to get right. I mean, you break there, and you think, oh, okay, I braked in time, and then suddenly the apex goes rushing by.
Well, looking at the time, we probably have got 2 laps left, because there's 2:14 left in the race, and they're lapping around about 2:06. So it's 2 laps that are remaining. Shafiq Danish is leading. Sharik Zulkarnain in P2. Danish Aman in P3 as Sean O'Carroll gets a drive-through penalty. Into the haze. It's a lovely sunny day over in Aragon. Sean O'Carroll speeding in the pit lane on his debut. He's having a little run around. Ronaldo Julie still in P12. Remember, Ronaldo at one stage was in P1 until he crashed out. John McGregor's also having a hard time. He's down in P15. Where about Chris Chu? Chris Chu has got himself up into the top 10.
Yeah, let's have a look at Chris Chu right now. There he is in the top 10. And you can see the inside right now. Look how concentrating he is on the driving. Great to see Chris Chu there in the top 10. And actually, I think the reverse grid for this race, I'm quite sure. It might be top 10. So if Chris Chu can stay there for race 1, he'll be in the pole for race 2.
And at the moment, he's trying to go on the inside of Nasrul Ashraf to make up a place. Instead, he's forced just a little bit wide. Still P10 at the moment. Juan Coco is alongside him. I think we'd better just go back up to the front, because Shafiq Danish is pulling away, and Danish Aram has also pulled away, and Sharik Zulkarnain, Alex Young, who was chasing for P1, has clearly made a mistake, because he's now down in P4, and Hayden Miller on debut has gone through.
Wow. So yeah, just off shot there. Apologies for that. Must have been, he was trying super hard to get onto Shafiq Danish's bumper. Must have been a mistake. And we have seen that from all the drivers, actually. All the drivers at some point during this race have made small mistakes.
So it's looking good for Shafiq, because he was coming under a bit of pressure. The difference between him and Danish Aram is 1.5 seconds, but Danish is coming under pressure from Hayden Miller. Tell you what, Miller has impressed. I know you picked him out in the qualification and in the practice earlier on, but Miller is driving well, looking good for a podium, unless Sharik can refine that speed, and he's actually closing in on Danish.
Yeah, he is. 1 lap to go though. Oh, it looks like it's too far, but you never know, right? Never know.
Sharik in P4. Olivier Dennis in 5. Imran Zuhaili posted a quick time in qualification, but he's in the same qualification position that he was in P6. Get back to our championship leader, our race leader. We haven't really focused on him. He had a little battle with Danish Aram, and they do use the full width of this Aragon circuit, don't they?
Yep. And there is Danish Aram there. Is he closing? He is closing, you know. He has closed down that gap somehow.
Well, we're on the final lap of this race, but it's best part of 3/4 of a lap, and you've got that long straight where if you can get in the slipstream, if he can get close enough, he's 7/10 down now. He needs to get close enough to Shafiq to try and pull off what would be a surprise victory.
Oh, he's just not quite close enough, is he? Yeah, he's not close enough. One more real corner to go. Oh, Shafiq Danish weaves just before the braking. I thought that was really unnecessary. He wasn't close enough. And has he gone wide? He might have gone wide. Yeah, he just goes a little bit wide, but recovers. And he's going to take the first win of Global Edition 7.
Shafiq Danish has been leading since the 3rd lap, and Shafiq takes the victory ahead of Danish Aram, runner-up last season. Danish tries to get through. Hayden Miller on debut takes a P3. Sharik Zulkernan in P4. Olivier Denis in P5. So they are the main winners today, and obviously if you can get yourself a good start in the championship, if there's only 6 races, you've really got an opportunity.
Very, very good job indeed. And then we'll see the others come through as well. One Coco in the end, I think, was over the line in 10th. So he's going to start from pole position for race 2. Let's not forget, everyone, that race 2 is a reverse grid. And in Copper's case today, the reverse grid is top 10. We do choose randomly each race. So yes, fantastic result there. And wow, that was kind of interesting.
Confirmation. Shafiq Danish takes the victory. Sharik gets the fastest lap in P4. Danish Aram in P2. Hayden Miller 3. Sharik we've mentioned in 4. Olivier Denis in 5. Zuhaili in P6. And Jack McGregor in P7, with Ashraf in completing the top 8. As you say, the reverse grid is the top 10. And that means that Juan Coco and Chris Chu will be on the first row of the grid for the reverse grid race that is coming up in just a few minutes' time. Well,
wow.
Aragon, it's a fascinating little circuit. I often expect that hill and that long straight down at the end to actually be able to get an awful lot more slipstream. It didn't seem to work on these cars. What was the problem there, Alex?
Wow, good question. I just think people are making too many mistakes. That tight left-hander onto the back straight, you have to be very precise. And a lot of the guys were trying too hard and overdriving that corner and getting poor exits. So then they were dropping back a lot. So it'll be very interesting to see if they can fix that issue later on.
But a very good performance by Shafiq. He takes the victory. And Danish, who was runner-up in the Copper edition last season, he's going to have to be content with P2 as well. But that's pretty good consistency from Danish Aram. Let's see if he's able to actually claw his way back from fairly low down on the grid in race number 2. It'll be a reverse grid race. Again, a 15-minute sprint, but that reverse grid makes it just that much more difficult. We've got 30 seconds or so. Was there anybody outside the top 4? I mean, Hayden Miller, you'd called him out earlier on debut. That was a very good drive, and he's ended up with a podium.
Very good drive indeed. Let's see what he does now. He's going to be outside the bottom of the top 10. This is where the racecraft comes to the fore, doesn't it, Des?
So we are just about set to go. The red lights are off, and Juan Coco and Chris Chu on the first row of the grid. Juan Coco in the yellow has just about retained the lead. Chris Chu, though, gets a little angle, and Chris Chu is our new race leader, and he kept his line superbly there. National tries to come through as well. Juan Coco is pushed out of P2. Jack McGregor trailing just behind them. There's a big crash. There is a big crash behind as Chu leads the way, looks determined, tries to hold on. We've got him in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. There's a long way to go, but it's a pretty good start by Chris Chu. Further down, just breaking off from Chris just for a moment, Shafiq Danish has got himself safely away in P8. Let's go back to our race lead, although Shafiq is there ahead of Olivier Denis. Let's see how Chu is coping with the pressure.
He's done a good job there, and he's gone, isn't he? Look, well, not gone, but he's had a great first half of the lap. That's what you need to do as a leader. just to nail the braking, grab the apexes, and he's done that brilliantly. The one Coco's now got a great exit out of the last corner. Is one Coco to look down the inside? No, he's not. Small love tap there just to let him know that he's there. Both of them get through that corner safely, and they have a bit of a gap to Jack McGregor, third position at the moment.
Yeah, it's 3/4 of a second down to McGregor in the second of the yellow vehicle. So Hiley's made a good start. He's got himself up into P4. Danish is up into P6. So 1, 2 in the first race are 6 and 7 here in race 2. Hayden Miller's also got himself a decent start as well. He's in the red and blue as Hayden Miller. He's got himself up into P8. So a good opening lap for the top 3 in race number 1.
Yeah. Oh, someone coming down the inside? No, not close enough at the moment. So they all get to the hairpin quite well. They're just behind. They look at that. We've got Dennis and Sukainen going at it again. Sukainen there, the white car running wide as well. We have to keep an eye on him because I think actually he was the fastest driver in race 1. Just made a couple too many mistakes at the critical moments. Let's see if he can get further up there. Oh,
change of lead. One Coco takes the lead ahead of Chris Chu.
Yeah, and we just saw Aspi Arafin, I think, just spearing off to the side just now, but he's recovered and he's still going.
So One Coco, the new race leader. Chris Chu holding on very, very tight, just 1/10 down. He goes a little bit wide there, loses it just a touch, and that allows One Coco to break away a little bit quicker. Now then, Shafiq Danish is making a move here on Nasrul.
Outside, will he try the come back and get the undercut? Yeah, I decides to just stay there for now. Not really, you can overtake this corner, but it's high risk because it drops down so much. It's very easy to lock the wheel and then run very, very wide.
Everyone's running wide there.
Yeah, if you look back a little bit further down as well.
We've got Kondrologis and Dave Roberts, Jet Li.
Further down now. See some of the other drivers there. See where Keith Moe's doing. Keith Moe's just behind Jet Li as well. Jet Li, I think, is only 13 years old, and Keith Moe, watch, look at that. 8-9? It's quite incredible. He's got some nice setup there. He's got a great wheel. Fourth triple screen he's got going there. Yeah, he's got a triple screen going as well. So his father, Rick, is obviously very keen to try and get him to drive that.
Just got to take you back up to the front as Chris Chu retakes the lead once again. So Chris Chu 3 abreast. Chris Chu, one Coco, and Jack McGregor 3 abreast coming down. This is going to be a cracking race as there's a lot of contact there. McGregor barges his way into P2. One Coco P3, Danish is now up into P4, but Chris Chu is the man who leads them through at the 1/3 mark of this race. Keith Moe then gets a slowdown penalty, as does Imran Zuhaili, but Chris Chu is having a terrific race here.
Well, it's great. I mean, Chris Chu and One Coco, they've been doing this for a long time in proper class, and it's great to see him up there driving so hard, and I have to say they're racing harder than I usually see in the race, which is really nice to see.
This is really good. It was very physical on the tail end of lap number 1. Just a couple of other people to mention down in P20, Rinaldo Julie, who started so well and then crashed out. He's in P20 at the moment, Rinaldo Julie.
Yeah, Julie does do that though. I've seen him be quick before, and in the reverse big races get tripped up. And sometimes you can just be unlucky. But when you get tripped up so many times, you have to think sometimes, okay, what do I need to do to not put myself in a position getting hit by someone? Yeah, so shame for the Indonesian.
And young Keith Moe is in ahead of him there. So Keith he's got some experienced racers behind him. He's got John McGregor and Rinaldo Julie up at the front once again, if I may. Chris Chu is pulling a bit of a lead. He's got a second here on Jack McGregor, and they themselves have got a second on Danish Aram.
We need Statman right now, because I'd like to know if Chris Chu's ever won a race. I know he's finished on the podium a few times. I'm not sure if he's actually won a race in Copa Class. Could be this week, could be the day.
I've never seen it. I keep a record of all the winners for all the podiums. I don't think there's a Chris Chu.
Yeah, he has finished on the podium before in the reverse grid race, but he's never won one, if I remember correctly.
He's been a Chris Chong. Chris Chu is at best place at P2. So yeah, he has never won a race, but he has been on the podium in the past. This will be an opportunity. As for Jack McGregor, I'm not sure Jack McGregor's run away race either.
Oh,
yes, Jack has. Yes, he has.
Yes, indeed. And there's Jack now, getting closer and closer to Chris Chu. So he's showing some good shots. We'll have to pull away from the helicam because we're going to go around a tunnel in the hill at the moment. Shafik Danish though. Wow, up to P3 now. He's just demoted one Coco.
And Hayden Miller's making a move as well. I'm liking the work of young Hayden. If he is young, you never know.
Yeah, he is young. He's only 15 years old.
And that's ancient in this sport. Hayden Miller, though, he's in a big battle there. He's got Danish Aram around him. Imran Zuhaili's made a move as well. This is the P2 position for Jack McGregor. Shafiq in 3. A lot of action going on behind them in that battle for P4. Approaching the midway point. Chu still has that lead. McGregor second, Shafiq in P3. Danish in P4. And in front too, Alex. Tell you what, they are. They've got a bit of a lead of these two.
Yeah, they have. And yeah, it's going to be really tricky to see if Chris can hang on there. His pace is good though, right? Okay, he's had it bad in the last lap, so we have no. He's going to start running into trouble considerably, but he's doing a really good job on that. The pace is good. And him and Jack. And Jack's actually a bit of a specialist of winning reverse grid races. Him and his father, John, have won plenty of reverse grid races over the years. Over the seasons, shall we say, because we've not been doing it very long, have we? A year and a half we've been doing this. 2 years, maybe.
Good battle for P4 though, Danish. Trying to fend off the challenge of Hayden Miller. Miller, I think, has gone past him. Indeed, Hayden Miller is now up into P4. Was on the long straight, and then the switchback cost Miller his place, as Danish did well, and Sharik Zulkernan was trying just to capitalise in there as well. In fact, Sharik looks on the inside of Hayden Miller. Good racing going on there, so Danish believed that he had the right line and was proven to be correct, and now there's a battle on the home straight, and once again Miller tries to get on the inside of Danish and does successfully so. Sharik tries to come through on the inside of Danish. Danish holds on. What a cracking little battle for P4.
Yeah, that was super aggressive by Miller, but completely legal and nicely done. And he's now up to P4 and he's showing great pace. Oh, but look at that! Danish is coming back at him again. He goes down the inside. Typical move here for turn 5. Miller, though, cleverly gives him space at the apex, so he doesn't run the risk of getting hit. And look at that, Sukaina now going through as well.
All the while, Imran Zuhaili is just tagging along at the tail of that, saying, you guys race away, you go and battle with each other, you make a mistake and I'll be right in there. Up at the front though, Chris Chu. Again, occasionally, Alex, he seems to pull a second or so clear of Jack McGregor, and he has done again. It's 9/10 of a second clear at the moment.
Okay, so 5.5 minutes to go. Can he hold on to this, Des? At the beginning of the race, I said, no chance. But Chris is driving out of his skin, isn't he? He's not making mistakes. He missed the apex there. That would cost him too much time. And I have this feeling that if he can keep error-free for the rest of this race, then we might actually see Singapore win his first ever race. And look at the focus he has on his face right now.
Splendid shot. I do like these zoom shots that we're able to get. His lead is 9/10 of a second as they come down this long back straight. It's downhill. Behind him, McGregor and Shafiq trying to get into the slipstream, but neither is able to get a drag down the hill, and so Chu will maintain that 7/8 of a second lead as he gets that one just a little bit better. McGregor was able to close in a little bit though, and what was a near 1 second lead has been reduced down to 7/10 of a second. So this is going to be fascinating. We've probably got 3 laps still to go. 4:23 as they go over. They're lapping around 2:05. So yeah, we've got 3 laps to go. Chris Chu's got a lot of work to hold off Jack McGregor.
He is though. He's holding him off. He's holding him off, isn't he? But you know, Jack McGregor's now going to start coming under pressure from Shafik Danish, race 1 winner, and That's going to be a lot of pressure.
So Shafiq won race number 1. And he's in P3 at the moment, so this is looking like a very, very good weekend for Shafiq Danish. Just 3 rounds in this championship, so if you get, well, near maximum points, you get 25 points for a win in race 1, 16 for a win in race 2, and it's, oh no, it's short, it's smaller points, isn't it, race 2, yes. Yes, but it's still worthwhile picking up the points. It gives you a really good start to the championship.
Absolutely, and you're right. This is going to be our shortest global edition ever with only 3 races, so there are no drop points as well. So you can't afford to make mistakes.
Talk about making mistakes. Ronaldo Julie has made plenty. As he is right on the tail of, who's that? John Harding, I think, has just slid off. And Ronaldo Julie right on the tail of Adam Kondrolochis. The battle for P4 once again. Miller and Sharik Zulkarnain really going toe-to-toe with him. There is still plenty to go. There's this lap to complete and then 1 full lap after that. And still up at the front, Chu.
Oops, someone's run wide. Green car. I think it might be Oliver Dennis. Yeah,
it was indeed Olivier Denis. Lap times around about the 2:05. Shafiq has put in a 2:04.8, which is the fastest so far. In fact, he's the only driver inside 2:05. That shows you how fast that Shafiq is. So don't count him out, because with a full lap still to go, Alex, in fact 2 laps still to go, because they cross this start-finish line now. It'll be a 2:05-ish, so they'll be 10 seconds into the final lap when the clock strikes 0.
Yeah, and all 3 of them are doing laps in the 5s, so very quick lap times from these guys. Jack there made a small mistake at turn 1, and that's just what Chris Chu needs, because now Chris has a little bit of breathing space between him and the yellow cone.
Chu has the lead. 5/10 clear, long way to race. What is it? It's a 5.7 kilometer circuit, so 10 kilometers still to go. And you've only got 0.6 of a second in the lead. Further down, Sharik is able to hold off Danish Aram. So Danish is will be trying to get into P4. Behind them, you've got Imran Zuhaili, who was P6 in race 1. Shafiq has closed right in on the tail of McGregor in P3.
Wow. That's just what Chris Chu needs in the lead, because he'll see these guys fighting in his mirrors and he'll be going, come on guys, hold each other up so I can just hold on for my first win.
McGregor goes narrow. Shafiq goes wide. Battle for P4 is hotting up as well. Sharik is being closed in by Danish. There is still another lap to go after the one that they have completed, or they're about to complete, as they start to come down the hill and heading towards the long straight, and then the U-turn.
There's the kind of be. Whoa.
Is it close enough in the? This slipstream is not working on this long straight, is it?
Yeah, it's. But also the looks like behind Zuhaili, he's not sticking to slipstream. He's not being disciplined enough. When you're in the slipstream, like you see that a lot of the sim drivers, I think they don't think the slipstream. I can only imagine they don't think slipstream works that well, because they're very loose in how they follow the car behind. But you have to be very, very clearly inside the hole of the car in front pushing, a couple of feet out.
We are now on the last lap. The clock at the top of your screen counts down to 0. You complete the lap you're on, but the fact they've just started it is a problem for Chris Chu, although to be fair, he hasn't had much of a problem ever since he took the lead.
Oh, wow, great drive. Easily his best drive of the eRacing GP, especially here in the Copper class. Best drive we've seen from him so far. And yeah, wow, I'm really pleased with him.
But the pressure is on. 5/10 down on Jack McGregor. Shafiq in P3. Where can they...
Jack's defending.
Yeah, Jack's defending, but where can he attack was going to be the question.
Well, the best place is down the back straight, but out of this corner, it's also possible to do it. You can get it done out of this corner, because there's an overtaking spot into turn 13. This next one coming up. But it is tricky to do. It's so easy to overcook it here. Let's see from the top view here as they come in. Looking at it, but no, not able to go through at the moment.
Chris Chu looks determined. He's living this, isn't he? Bottom right of your screen, looking for his debut victory.
Go back to the battle in second place because I think it's going to change right now. Oh,
Shafiq and Jack McGregor. McGregor holds off Shafiq.
wow, that's a good exit by Danish, though. Danish is close enough. He's in the slipstream, isn't he? Wow.
That's going to be the battle. Sharik is holding off Danish Aram at the other end, and we are now coming towards the tail end of this lap. Oh, Shafiq tries to go on the inside of Jack McGregor. Shafiq holds on, and he's got himself up into P2. Chris Chu is able to hold on. How can McGregor respond? Chu is leading the way. In fact, Chris Chu is going to go and take this victory. A debut eRGP victory for Chris Chu, ahead of Shafiq, who has just pipped Chris McGregor in for P2, Sharik in 4, Danish Aram in P5. But wow, a very, very, very happy-looking Chris Chu.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if we can try and talk to him as well, because that was a really great race back. Look, he's doing donuts as well. Fantastic to see. We'll try and see if we can speak to him after this. We'll let the results come out first. After we confirm the results, we'll try and speak to Chris Chu if it's possible. But yeah, what a great result by Chris. Shafiq Danish also had a great, first in race 1, second in race 2. Great job by the Singaporean. Singapore 1, 2, 3. How about that? And Jack McGregor third. He'll be so ticked off to losing the second position on the very last proper corner of the place.
A decent weekend also for Sharik.
Yeah, hi.
And here is Chris. Let's have a quick word with him here before the results come on.
I can't hear him either.
We can hear you, Chris. Can you hear us? Okay. So, yeah, here we go. Here's some confirmation of the results. Chris,
oh,
we can
hang
hear
on.
you.
Here we go.
We can hear you, Chris. But let's just go through the results. Chris Chu in
Okay,
first,
I got you, Alex. I got you.
Shafiq Danish in second, Jack McGregor in third, Sukaman in fourth, and Danish Aram in fifth. All right, Des, let's go to Chris, shall we?
Chris, congratulations. It looked like you had a lot of fun there and a little bit of a celebration at the end. Bit of rubber being spilled at Aragon.
Your first... Wow, but you drove so well. I thought that was great driving. Well done on that. Never seen you drive so well, I have to say. You were consistent and strong, and I think you thoroughly deserved that win. Okay. Thanks very much. We will come back to you and see you next week.
Short season, a very happy Chris Chu celebrating his first victory at eRGP level. And tell you what, it's not just about the kids for this sport, Alex Young. We've got the veterans as well. Not that Chris will like being called a veteran.
Exactly. That's what I love about this game. You've got 8-year-olds and 6-year-olds or Howard. There's no limit. Anyone can join. And that's what's been so cool about it. All right. So, Des, that's copper done and dusted. We will have to come back with bronze just after these few messages.
You're watching eRGP.